Welcome to the UW Oshkosh's Anxiety Reduction Workshop. This is our third session, and my name is Kristen Marin. I'm one of the counselors at UW Oshkosh, and I'm excited to walk you through this final workshop in our anxiety reduction series. We're going to start off with watching a video about emotions. And while some of the initial concepts in the video may seem childish, and also because it's an animation, please stick with it and watch because the concepts are deep and relevant to how to work with your emotions.
What are emotions and how do they work? Emotions are often feared and avoided because they are so painful. So why focus on emotions? Because emotions give you important information and tell you whether things are going your way. Emotions help you to survive by providing an efficient, automatic way of responding rapidly to important situations. Emotions help you to relate to other people and the expectations and demands of life. Emotions tell you what you need. When you know what you need, you can take action to meet those needs. Emotions also communicate what you feel. You learn your emotional reactions through experience. All your negative experiences can turn into a big, black, and scary feeling inside. You learned many of your emotional reactions long ago. Your black shadow will therefore sometimes resemble a person who hurt you in the past. But your emotional experience and reactions can always be changed or altered. First, you need to know something about what your emotions are. You have different basic emotions, some of which arouse you and some that calm you down. These are shame, fear, sadness, anger, disgust, happiness, and surprise or interest. You have more unpleasant emotions than pleasant ones. That means you often suffer quite a lot, but that's because the unpleasant emotions help you survive. Feelings also tend to be more unpleasant if you fight them. If you allow them to be there, they become less unpleasant. You can experience and express many different feelings, like feeling hopeless, irritated, anxious, excited, lonely, embarrassed, suspicious, content, and so on. These feelings all arise from your basic emotions. For instance, feeling suspicious springs from fear, and feeling lonely springs from sadness. And then it gets complicated. Emotions do not always provide you and your surroundings with good information. Sometimes you fake emotions to get what you want. At other times, you cover up your real emotions with other emotions. If you act like this, when you really feel like this, and your need is compassion and comfort, you will instead drive people away. If you or someone around you is supportive, patient, and curious enough to try to understand you, you might realize that you are sad and then get what you need to heal your painful emotion. At other times again, your real emotions are messed up and make a lot of trouble for you. If you were scared a lot when you were a child, You might grow up having a core feeling of being afraid. You might overprotect yourself so that no one can hurt you ever again. Everyone who was hurt badly as a child has a deep need to feel safe and a desire for someone to love them and connect with them, and heavy protection doesn't give you this. You can tell or show someone you trust that you are afraid. You can welcome the feeling of being afraid and listen to it, instead of ignoring it and covering it up. And the fear will then become more manageable. You can also change fear by means of self-compassion and assertive anger. You can stand up for yourself without driving people away. You can handle criticism, even if it hurts. You can take the chance and let people in, even if you're afraid of getting hurt again. You feel and function better when you're aware of and deal with your real emotions, even if they're painful. Your real emotions help you to get what you really need, both from yourself and others. You feel and function better when your real emotions are fresh and new, instead of stuck old feelings. You can trust your emotions if doing so gives you what you need. Stuck and misguiding emotions can change if you learn to attend to your emotions, are curious and patient with your own emotions, talk about and show your real emotions, learn to accept having different emotions, and change emotions with emotions. And all of this is easier to do with the empathy and support of another person.
So the video that you just watched is designed to help you recognize your emotions, understand where they may come from, and help you to better manage and change them. Take a moment to reflect on where you get stuck with your negative emotions. So negative emotions can be emotions such as shame, fear, anger, just to name a few. And please take a moment to stop the video and reflect on what experiences from your childhood contribute to negative emotional reactions. How do stuck emotions contribute to your anxiety today? And finally, identify 3 helpful ways you can change or alter your reactions to negative emotions. Now we're going to go through an exercise that will be a mindfulness exercise about emotions. Please begin with a brief mindful check-in, taking a few minutes to acknowledge how you're currently feeling, being mindful of whatever is in your awareness, and letting it all be. There's nothing that needs to be fixed, analyzed, or solved. Just allow your experience and let it be. Be present. Now gently shift your attention to the breath, becoming mindful of breathing in and breathing out. Bring awareness to wherever you feel the breath most prominently and distinctly. Perhaps at your nose, in your chest, or in your belly, or perhaps somewhere else. There's no other place you need to go, nothing else you need to do. Just be mindful of your breath flowing in and flowing out. If your mind wanders away from the breath, just acknowledge wherever it went and then return to being mindful of breathing in and breathing out. Now reflect on a specific experience of anxiety. Perhaps something recent so you can remember it clearly. It doesn't have to be an extreme experience of anxiety. Perhaps something that you'd rate at a 5 or 6 on a scale of 1 to 10. Take a moment to recall the experience in detail, as vividly as you can, invoking some of that anxiety now in the present moment. As you imagine the experience and sense into it, be mindful of how the anxiety feels in your body and stay present with the sensations. Your only job right now is to feel and acknowledge whatever physical sensations you're experiencing in your body and let them be. There's no need to change them. Let the sensations run their course, just like a ripple on a lake is gradually assimilated into the entirety of the body of water. Now feel into any emotions that emerge. Anxiety, fear, sadness, anger, confusion, whatever you may feel. As with physical sensations, just acknowledge how these emotions feel and let them be. There's no need to analyze them or figure them out. If strong emotions don't arise, this doesn't mean you aren't doing this meditation correctly. The practice is simply to acknowledge whatever is in your direct experience and let it be. Whatever comes up in the practice is the practice. Bringing awareness to your anxiety may sometimes amplify your anxious feelings. This is normal, and the intensity will subside as you open to and acknowledge what you experience and give it space to simply be. Continue feeling into the anxiety, just allowing any feelings in the body and mind and letting them be, cultivating balance and the fortitude to be with things as they are. The very fact that you're acknowledging anxiety rather than turning away from it is healing. As you continue to acknowledge your physical sensations and emotions, they may begin to reveal a host of memories, thoughts, feelings, and physical experiences that may have created limiting definitions of who you think you are. You may begin to see more clearly into how these old patterns of conditioning have driven your anxiety. This understanding can set you free, freer than you ever felt possible. Now gradually transition back to the breath, breathing mindfully in and mindfully out. Next, slowly shift your awareness from your breath to sensing into your heart. Take some time to open into your heart with self-compassion, acknowledging your courage in engaging with your anxiety. In this way, your anxiety can become your teacher, helping you open your heart to greater wisdom, compassion, and ease within your being. As you're ready to end this meditation, congratulate yourself for taking this time to meditate and heal yourself. Then you can gradually return to the present moment and the environment around you. May we all find the gateways into our hearts and be free. Now we're going to watch a video that focuses on the idea that feeling in control of your life equals better mental health.
Today, I'll be talking about 3 coping resources, and the first one is feeling like you're in control of your life. People who feel like they're more in control of their life have better mental health. If you feel like you're lacking in control in life, then research shows that you should engage in experiences that give you greater control. I'll show you what I mean. Do you sometimes find that you put off starting something because you just don't feel ready enough? Do you find it hard to make decisions like what to wear, what to eat, who to date, which job to take up? Do you tend to waste a lot of time deciding what you might do while nothing gets done? A way to overcome indecision and this lack of control in life is to do it badly. There's a quote by writer and poet G.K. Chesterton that says, "Anything worth doing is worth doing badly the first time." The reason why this works so well is that it speeds up your decision-making and catapults you straight into action. Otherwise, you can spend hours deciding how you should go about doing something or what you should do. This can be paralyzing and can make you afraid to even begin. All too often, we aim for perfection, but never end up doing anything, because the standards that we set for ourselves are too high. They're intimidating, which stresses us out, so we delay starting something, or we might even abandon the whole thing altogether. Do it badly frees you up to take action. I mean, you know how it is. So often we want to do something perfectly. We can't start until it's the perfect time, until we've got all the skills. But this can be daunting and stressful. So why not just jump into it? Just do it however, without worrying if it's good or bad. This will make it that much easier to start something, and as you're doing it badly, to finish it. And when you look back, you'll realize more often than not that actually it's not that bad. A close friend of mine who has anxiety started using this motto, and this is what she said. When I started using this motto, my life transformed. I found that I could complete tasks in much shorter time periods than before. Do it badly gave me wings to take risks, to try something differently, and to have way more fun during the whole process. It took the anxiety out of everything and replaced it with excitement. So, do it badly, and you can improve as you go along. I'd like to ask you to think about this. If you start using this motto today, how would your life change? The second coping strategy is to forgive yourself, and this is very powerful if you use it. People with anxiety think a lot about what they're doing wrong, their worries, and how bad they're feeling. Imagine if you had a friend who constantly pointed out everything that you're doing wrong and everything that was wrong with your life. You would probably want to get rid of this person right away, wouldn't you? Well, people with anxiety do this to themselves all day long. They're not kind to themselves. So maybe it's time to start being kinder with ourselves. Time to start supporting ourselves. And a way to do this is to forgive yourself for any mistakes you think you might have made just a few moments ago, to mistakes made in the past. If you had a panic attack and are embarrassed about it, forgive yourself. If you wanted to talk to someone but couldn't muster up the courage to do so, don't worry about it, let it go. Forgive yourself for anything and everything, and this will give you greater compassion towards yourself. You can't begin to heal until you do this. And last, but not least, having a purpose and meaning in life is a very important coping mechanism. Whatever we do in life, whatever work we produce, however much money we make, we cannot be fully happy until we know that someone else needs us, that someone else depends on our accomplishments or on the love that we have to share. It's not that we need other people's good words to keep going in life, but if we don't do something with someone else in mind, then we're at much higher risk for poor mental health. The famous neurologist, Dr. Viktor Frankl, said, "For people who think there's nothing to live for and nothing more to expect from life, the question is getting these people to realize that life is still expecting something from them." Doing something with someone else in mind can carry you through the toughest times. You'll know the why for your existence and will be able to bear almost any how. Almost any how. So, the question is, do you do at least one thing with someone else in mind? This could be volunteering, or it could be sharing this knowledge that you gained today with other people, especially those who need it most. And these are often the people who don't have money for therapy, and they're usually the ones with the highest rates of anxiety disorders. Give it to them, share it with others, because it can really improve your mental health. So, I would like to conclude with this. Another way that you can do something with someone else in mind is finishing work that might benefit future generations. Even if these people will never realize what you've done for them, it doesn't matter, because you will know. And this will make you realize the uniqueness and importance of your life. Thank you.
Sometimes we seek control in ways that make us more anxious. The 3 concepts provided in this video give a framework for feeling in control while honoring our emotional needs in a healthy way. So to recap, those are forgiving yourself, finding a purpose or meaning, and doing it badly. Take a moment to engage in reflections to further explore these 3 areas. First, ask yourself, what areas of your life will be helpful to give yourself permission to do it badly? Next, identify one thing you can do today that will positively impact someone else. After you do that, reflect on how it felt to make a difference in someone else's life. What we find is that when we do things that make a positive difference for someone else, we create meaning and purpose for ourselves. And finally, identify something you need to forgive yourself for, and pause to forgive yourself. Focus on the emotion of what it feels like to forgive yourself. If you're not sure of how to forgive yourself, think of what would help you be willing to forgive a friend. Many times we want some acknowledgement of the wrong, mistake, or offense, and some express sincerity of remorse. What words could you use to convey this to yourself? Try speaking those words to yourself now. It can be helpful to say the words while looking at yourself in a mirror. And after doing this, add the words, "I forgive you," with kindness and compassion. You may need to remind yourself of the forgiveness each time that you find you're punishing yourself again with reminders of your mistakes. Be patient with yourself and know that forgiveness and growth take time. I would like to now walk you through a 4-step process of letting go of negative emotions, which can help you to release the control those emotions have over you. You can then release the anxiety and stress that come with holding on to negative emotions. So here are the 4 steps to follow for the process of letting go. First, accept the situation without wanting to change it. Remember that what is done, and dwelling on it will change nothing. Accept the situation for what it is. Focus on the present moment and the things that can be changed. Do not waste energy on things that cannot be changed. Second, allow yourself to feel however you truly feel about the situation without guilt. While you cannot change what happened, you might still have feelings about it. Let those feelings out. Don't feel guilty for how you feel. Your feelings are perfectly valid and warranted for the situation. Letting out the emotions will allow you to move on. Third, forgive yourself. Forgive whoever needs forgiveness. This can often be yourself, but might include other people. By now, you've accepted the situation for what it is, and you know it cannot be changed. Maybe both sides need to be forgiven for the words that were said. And forgive yourself for your role in the situation, whatever that might be. And number 4, take some distance. If you feel the need, take a break. Distance yourself from other people involved in whatever the situation might be, if that's what you feel you need to do. Giving time can help with having perspective and with letting go of emotions we're having a hard time relinquishing. As we wrap up for today, I want to point out some next steps that you can do to continue working on emotions related to anxiety and to other things you might be experiencing. The Insight Timer app is a free app that you can download at both the App Store and Google Play that will walk you through additional meditations. There's also a link to a meditation about letting go of negative emotions. And finally, an article you could read about managing anger and fear. Please take a moment to choose the evaluation link in the video description below and to provide some feedback on your experience in today's workshop. I thank you very much for attending and participating in today's workshop, and I wish you a good day and hope that everyone can be well. Bye.